Hey there guys, welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be learning about the Keyup event in JavaScript and how we can use it to create a search filter. So to our right here on the browser you can see we've got these 7 cards which all have a superhero inside of it, and then we've also got the search bar, and what we're going to be doing is using the Keyup event to filter through these cards depending on what we type. So if I type in here Spider-Man, you can see it filters through and just shows us the Spider-Man card now. If I delete this and I put in Hulk, you can see it's just showing us the Hulk card. And we're doing this all just with the Keyup event. So let's get started. So first let's just link all of our files here. So we've got index.html, just say here search filter, and we'll say link styles.css. And then let's link our app file. So that's all our files linked. Let's open this up with live server. So there's our empty browser. Now let's go inside the body. And the first thing we're going to build is just going to be the search input. So this is going to be a div with a class of search, and this is going to be an input, type of text, stick a placeholder in here saying search, and then let's also give this a class of search input. Save that. There's our input there. Next let's build our superhero cards. So underneath this we'll have a div, we'll give this an ID of superhero container, and then inside of here we're going to have a div which is going to be the hero container, which is going to be that card, and then inside of that we'll just have a paragraph tag for that specific superhero. So first we'll just do Spider-Man, and then we'll duplicate this 6 more times. So we've got Spider-Man, Wolverine, Black Widow, Hulk, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Thor, and then let's just have an extra one here, so we'll say Iron Man. And there's all our superheroes, and that's all we're going to need for the HTML. Let's go into the style.css and style this a bit. So first we'll just grab the body, and then we want to set the margin to the body of 0, padding 0, save that. And we'll just give some style into the search bar, and we'll say search, and just text align this to the center, and then we'll actually style the input itself. So search input, let's give this a width of 40%, font size 18 pixels, border, we'll remove the border, give this a little bit of border radius, say about 3 pixels, save that, see what that looks like. Let's just give this a bit of background color so we can actually see the whole input. So we'll say, just give it a light grey color just so we can see that a bit clearer. Let's also give this some padding, so we'll say 0.5 m, 1 m on the top, 0.5 m on the bottom, 2.5 m on the left. Save that. So there's our input there. Let's also just give it a bit of margin on the top, about 5 pixels. Save that. Now let's style the cards. So we'll say hero container, give this just some really basic styling, so solid 2 pixels, black, width, let's make them 150 pixels, and then height, let's make them 100 pixels. Save that. And these should actually be classes, not IDs. So there's our cards. Let's also just align the text to the center. So all we need to do now is just apply some style into the layout. So we'll grab the superhero container, I'm going to say display grid, save that, and we'll say grid template columns, say repeat to 1fr. We'll align these items to the center, give it a padding top of about 4m, and then let's say text align to the center, and then we just need to push this to the right and this to the left, so we'll say body display flex, so it just looks like it's more of like a side menu here that you can search. Let's also just give this a bit of grid gap. So that's all we're going to need for the styling. Let's head into the app.js now. So the first thing we need to do is just grab our search input here. We can apply the Keyup event to this. So we'll say let search input equal document dot query selector search input. Then next we're going to need to grab all the superheroes, and I've just remembered that we actually need to give the superheroes a class too. So we need to say, we'll just give them the class of heroes. So this is very important. So paste it in all of those. Because then we need to target the text of these in just a moment. So we'll say let heroes equal document dot query selector, and then select the heroes, so all of those p tags which have the heroes on them. And then we also want to grab, and just spell this correctly, then we also want to grab the containers, so the cards. So we'll say let heroes container equal document dot query selector, grab that hero container, and then what we're also going to need to initialize is two variables, so one for the search hero name and then one for the actual hero name. And the reason we're doing this is that when we use the Keyup event, whichever values apply to the search bar in here is the one that's going to get passed to these variables. So then we can then target them to display the superhero that we type in, which might sound a bit confusing, but it will make sense in just a moment. So we'll say let search hero name equals an empty string, and then we'll say let hero name also equal an empty string. And then now we're going to create the function which is then going to help us distinguish what we're typing in the search input to then filter the right superhero. So say const search superhero. We're going to pass the event object into this, and let's just log in the event so we can see what we're working with. So we'll log in E there, and then we'll grab the search input and we'll add an event listener to this, and the event is going to be the Keyup event. And let's just add the search superhero function, save this, open this up in the console, and because now we've applied an event listener to this, anytime we press a key it's going to fire off this event. As you can see here, it's fired off the event. Now the thing that we're interested in is this target property, and this is basically just selecting that element. We use the value attribute, which is essentially just going to target the text inside of here, which in this case is S. So if we demonstrate that now, we'll grab the search hero name, and we'll set it equal to e.target.value, which put this under here and duplicate this, and then we'll just insert the search hero name, save that. Now if I press S again in here, we've added the event listener, and I press S, see it's fired off the event, and it's also got the value, which in this case is S. So now every time this event fires off, it's going to insert that value inside of this variable here, so essentially getting our superhero name. So that's why we needed this variable here. Now what we also need to do here, just for safety, is basically just to make sure this is always lowercase. So we'll say to lowercase, and this is just going to make sure that even if someone types in here with capital letters, it will always reduce it to lowercase. So now the next thing we need to do is just loop through the hero containers, which is basically all of the cards. So then we can target each individual card. So we'll say heroes container dot for each hero in here. So again, if I just console.log hero, save this, I'll just put in here S, and we're getting an error. Oh, that's because we need to use query selector all for both of these. Save that. Now press S. You can see it's logged all of our superheroes in there because we're looping through the heroes container, which is basically just all of the classes which have hero container, so all of the cards, and console log in them individually. So now we've got a heroes container. The next thing we want to do is target the children inside of these, so these paragraph tags. We'll create another variable and we'll say individual hero is equal to hero.children, because it's a child inside of those divs. And we want to grab the 0 index. Save that, and then let's just console.log individual hero. Should really be a lowercase I. So now let's press S again. You can see now it's targeting all of our paragraph tags, so all of our elements inside of the hero container, so all of the elements here. So the next thing we're going to do now is grab the text inside of each of these and then set it to hero name. We'll say hero name now is equal to individual hero dot text content, and then also make this lowercase to lowercase, and then from here we want to say hero name. We'll use the include function. So does the hero name include variable here, so whatever we typed in, the one that we targeted? If it does include that, then we want to say I'm going to grab the hero card. I'll set the style of this to be display equal block. Otherwise, if it's not included in there, dot style. So if I save that now, just close this off, and if I insert any character in here now, so if I put in here S, you can see it's narrowing it down to Spider-Man and Cyclops, but Cyclops also has an S. But if I put in here P, see now it's just showing Spider-Man. If I delete this, it shows them all again. Type in here Hulk, you see it only shows us the Hulk. So that's how we can use the Keyup event in JavaScript to create a search filter. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.